I don't need a word.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Emerson.
Oh,
Hi, Emerson.
Hello, Emerson.
Hello.
hi.
Hi, Emerson.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Oh,
Hi, Emerson.
oh.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Robert. Robert is our featured speaker today. We're going to get started in a moment. There's just a few people coming in, and
Got mail.
Where is that?
so what's being suggested here is that everything is nothing. Emptiness is fullness. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming.
Thank you.
What's being
I mean, that's really all you can say.
yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I'll repeat again. Everything that seemingly comes from a character, a dream character, is dream stuff. Everything that you can think of, everything that you imagine, everything that you think is happening, is not really happening. The unreal appearing as real simultaneously. Everything is equally true and untrue. Everything is perfectly not happening and happening at the same time. So when there's an apparent identification that the me is real, everything that it comes up with, they think it's real. But what's being suggested here is that everything and anything that you can come up with is illusory because it's not coming. The root of the illusion is the me. The basis of all of this happening that seems to be really happening is the idea of the me, although there's no me. So I might as well be talking about nothing. This is really nothing. What's being shared here is nothing. What's really happening here is nothing. There's really no one here. There's no one there. It's just nothing seemingly appearing as everything appearing as real. Nothing seemingly happening to someone. What's quite obvious here is that all of this apparent happening is just an unhappening and a happening simultaneously appearing as this. It's quite simple, really. There's really nothing to figure out. There's really nothing that's not free. and there is no one that's not free, because there's simply no one, including William. William, please go ahead.
Hi, Emerson.
Hey, William.
So you said there really isn't a me, which obviously I've heard that a number of times, but there still seems to be within this appearance certain bodies that are still waiting for something to happen, and then maybe a few bodies like that body that isn't still waiting for something to happen.
So the story is looking for a story, for the story not to be a story. The story is trying to figure out the story, but it's the story. The story is trying to formulate or think that it can get rid of the story by changing the story. But the story is still a story. The story and the storyteller are the same illusion.
I know you're right, but I don't like it.
I'm not right.
No, but you are in a way, because the story's waiting for a story to end the story.
Yeah. So once it's seen that the story is a story, then does anything have to end? It's just seen as a story that's happening with no one in it, because the story is fiction, but you're making it real every time that you think that the story can change, thinking that the story can trigger something. Even if something happens in the story, it's still within the story. The story can't get out of the story, because that's the story.
Okay, is there a story there?
There's no story. That's why it's a story.
No, but here seems to be a real story.
There's no here and there's no there. This is all story. Let's just say that. But it's seen as a story from here. But there's no here really.
But is there one story?
There's this singular story, yeah.
And there's no reality to the story?
No, it's a story. It's not a true story. It's a fictional story. Yeah. It's a story that feels real. So there's a fictional story that appears as a true story simultaneously. The unreal appearing as real.
And so when the sense of being someone drops, the story completely drops with it?
Does the story drop and becomes a different story? No. You're asking to drop the story. The story can't drop out of the story, because that's the story. There's no one in the story.
But okay, so anything we say is a story. Anytime talking happens, that's a story. So you still talk in stories, or that body still talks in stories?
There's no one here, but this is just a story telling a story about the story, to illuminate that it's a story. Boom.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you. Sorry, my mic was slow. Someone messaged me. Question here. Why do I feel disoriented after attending your meetings? I feel tingly sensations, like I have been whacked in my head. Then I feel peaceful after. This is a long question. Then the me seems to come back, and here I am again. You're actually not here. The apparent disorientation is a story of something that never really happened. But in the story, let me talk about the story. Seemingly, when there is this contractedness, and what's being expressed here is that there's no contracted energy. This is just boundless energy. There seems to be a confusion to see what's happening, to see if this is happening or not happening, but you can't figure it out. So that seems to be what happened. This is just a guess. There's really no one. I have a few questions here. God's plan.
So if there's a
again.
push or a pull, it's duality.
I'm sorry?
So if there's any push or pull, it's duality.
There's no such thing as duality. So there's push and pull appearing, but there's no one pushing and pulling. It's just a happening. No one can push or
Okay.
pull. Yeah. It's just stillness appearing as push or pull simultaneously.
Got it.
All right. Hello, Petra. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. um, I was thinking about the last house on the block. You remember when? Yeah.
It's a butcher shop, and there's no one in
Right.
it.
And you know what comes after that?
Nothing.
Feel.
Oh yeah. I love that guy. Yeah.
Epic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, there's something else. It's not even the last house on the block. And after that, there's Theo.
In the story, yeah, but yeah, Theo's
In the
awesome.
story, of course.
Yeah. There's no Theo.
Yeah. There's no Theo. No.
That's right. No.
Okay.
Thank you. Love you, Petra.
Yeah, love you.
Question. Dario, why don't I have any questions? Not having any questions is just another story. It's just what's happening. There's no one that has any questions. This is just what's appearing. Question here. William.
Yeah, obviously, like this meeting hasn't gone on that long yet, and you've mentioned the word story lots and lots of times.
Yeah.
And what's going around in my head is there's got to be something real. It can't be that everything's a story.
Nothing is real. That's what's being expressed here. This is non-duality, right? This is non-duality, and this is not non-duality. So this is real, and this is not real. It's just an appearance. Seemingly, there seems to be not real and real, but really, this is just a mystery that's unknowable. So even calling it a story is landing at something. I'm just trying to express something that can't really be expressed, but it's not real, and it's also not unreal.
So the sense of the me is trying to grab something real, and that's why it always feels it's never enough, because it can never find something real that it can hold onto.
Can you repeat that again?
Okay, so the sense of the me is looking for something real that it can have and own and keep and hold, and for security or whatever.
What sense of the me are you talking about?
Well, I'm looking for something real. You're telling me everything's a story.
Yeah.
So I think
this.
I'm a me. So
Yeah.
I think, well, if I don't get that, I must be a me.
That's a story as well. See, I just pointed it out. You can't get out of the story. You can't get out of the story. Mystery.
I'm hoping it's. This might sound ridiculous. Well, maybe it won't.
Sure. It's okay.
I keep coming to these meetings with you and other speakers thinking at some point I'm going to understand this.
Because the story wants to understand the story that doesn't have any meaning or purpose.
I can't ask anything else because it's the same answer, which I can't. All right. Thank you, Emerson.
Right.
Thank you.
Who made up the story? This is a question from Vic. If you want to turn on your mic, Vic, go ahead. Who made up the story, and how can a story tell about itself that it's a story? From where did that certainty it's a story? There's no certainty here. What's being expressed here is that this is the unreal appearance real. Since we can't really point out to the wordless, you have to use words like story, unreal, illusion, mirage, mystery. These are just words trying to point out to something that cannot really be known. It's unknowable. Sorry, Vic, I think you were trying to get your mic there. Go ahead. I just thought it was Did you want to add to that?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, hi,
listening
Vic.
to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Vic. How are
Hi,
you?
Emerson. How are you?
Hi.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Great question, by the way.
Yeah. So yeah, but that certainty, from where did that certainty come from?
I don't know. There's no one here, right? It's just this obviousness. There's
Okay,
this obviousness.
if there is no one here, who are we?
No one, nothing. There's no one here. That's what's obvious. That's what is appearing as really, really obvious. If there's never been anyone here. So all of these words are all of these words are not coming from anywhere. Same as the words coming out from there. It's just really silence appearing as words, trying to go back and forth into something that's really obvious, because this is already obvious and it can't be said in words.
How can we put a meaning to these words? It seems that we can understand that it has a meaning, and we can understand what we are talking about.
Yeah, because it's completely meaningless, and I might as well be speaking in gibberish, right? Because what's just being illuminated here is that nothing matters. Nothing is happening. There's no one here.
How can we know the meaning of nothing happening? Nothing
I'm going to use an analogy.
We have a meaning of this. From where did that meaning come from?
Apparently, that's what's happening there, but it's just an idea as well. That's just a story. Meaning is a story. Purpose is a story. It's all a story. I'm going to use an analogy here, if I may. It's like a dream at night. Dreaming at night seems to happen, and there is actually no nighttime dreaming and daytime dreaming. No one really wakes up. This is continuous dream. It's kind of like in the nighttime when you're dreaming about, something. The moment that you wake up from it, it doesn't have any meaning. The moment that you wake up from it, nothing really happened. The moment that you see that it was just a dream, the nightmare seemingly that felt really, really real seems completely not real at all, because it did not really happen. There's no difference from now and then, because there's no before or after. So this is a dream.
Okay, but from where does the meaning of the how can I know that it was a nightmare? How can I know it was a pleasant dream? How can from where did the meaning?
No one knows. No, there's no meaning. No one knows. Again, what I'm saying here, that nothing is happening, and this is a suggestion.
Okay, what do I want now? I don't know.
I don't know too. Have no idea. It's meaningless.
And the funny thing about that I know I wouldn't get an answer, but I want to ask the question. But I know there's no answer.
There's no answer.
But I want to ask this question,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Vic.
Thank you.
Is it all apparently happening? Okay, so what seems to be happening is also unhappening. So nothing is happening, so what's happening is not really happening. So I've said this before, so what's happening is also unhappening simultaneously. William.
I'm sorry for going on, Emerson, but this is so confronting. This is so confronting and painful to listen to. I really hope you're wrong. And I know it's not about right or wrong, but I don't want there to be nothing. And I don't want to be nothing. I want to be someone. And I want this to be something real. So I'm trying to think what the question is. If
you're in the wrong meeting, then that's what you want. This is not about wants. Sorry, go ahead.
I love you, Emerson.
I love you too, William.
I was thinking to myself, if I drop appear to fall away, or there's no longer a sense that there's someone here, I was thinking, would I believe everything you're saying? Because I don't believe it now. But is it not? So is it not about believing it? But it's that if I dropped away, there wouldn't be a question about it.
Yeah, the one that's believing and not believing is the same. Believing and not believing is still a belief in the me. So it's reinforcing the me over and over again. It's reinforcing the story over and over and over again. It's a cyclical pattern of the me in a loop, right? The me wants to get out of the dream. The me wants to listen to this, doesn't want to listen to it, avoids it, listens to it again. It's a story that just keeps on going and going. The dream can't get out of the dream because there's no dreamer. The story can't get out of the story because there's no storyteller.
But you know, like when you listen,
no one's controlling the show.
You know, when you were listening to videos of Jim and Tony on YouTube before you apparently fell away, you may have felt sometimes confronted by it.
Oh yeah, in the story, in the story there was confrontation, and I would actually slam my MacBook and yell at Tony. This is just a story. This doesn't have any relevance. But when this apparent falling away that never really happened to anyone because no one fell away. But when the story was seen as a story, when the dream was seen as a dream with no dreamer, no storyteller, there was just this clarity. I watched Tony and Jim, and I think for 2 days, I've shared this story many, many times. I laughed until I cried. I laughed and cried because what was being simply said is so simple that you don't have to figure it out because there's no you to figure out. So when it's being said that all that there is this, that's it. There's nothing happening, full stop. Nothing is happening. Everything is nothing, empty fullness. And I just kept on cracking up because it's so obvious and clear that that's what this apparent is. It's a close kind of like expression of what's being expressed here. That this is the unknowable, but since it can't be known, all that can be said is nothing is appearing as everything simultaneously. Yeah. So I really thought that they were talking in riddles. They were talking in, and I would use to write all of these words. All of that, those books actually have thrown away because, when I talked to a couple of people in regards to this matter in a one-on-one, and when they're holding on to the idea that there's a no me, it's actually reinforcing the me over and over again. When they say that although there's no one doing that, there's no choice, but it's just seeing that the moment that you say that, when is the me going to drop? I'm like, oh, there it is again. You just basically made the me real. Yeah. The moment that you say that I can't wait for this to happen, you just made the unhappening like a happening. It doesn't happen because it has no one to happen to.
Can I ask one more thing? Because when there's no longer a sense of being someone, there's no question about what's happening because it's just what it is and no one trying to know it. So do all the questions from the sense of the me about what's happening all have to do with how do I find something else?
Can you clarify that question?
So so if there's no sense of a person, there's no question about what's happening.
So who's going to have a sense of a person if there's no one here?
Yeah, but you also don't have any questions, I assume. Or answers. No, I'm joking. I'm just trying to get to a place of no more questions, but
that's just another story. No questions is another story. You just keep on flipping the pages of a book that's fictional. You go to page 26. How do I get rid of the me? And then chapter 17. How do I drop the me? That's what you're doing. It's just flipping a book that's actually a fictional book. And you are that book.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
So, Emerson.
Ghislaine. Oh, sorry.
Vic.
Ghislaine.
Yeah.
Hi.
No, I'm Vic.
Oh, it's Vic. Oh, Vic. Okay, sorry. I had Ghislaine.
Yeah.
Ghislaine actually
Sorry,
had her hand up. I'll get to you, Vic. And then
okay. I will mute. I will mute. Okay.
No worries. No worries.
Okay, I start.
Hi, Ghislaine.
Hi, Emerson.
Hi.
I think you should ask to people that ask question on what base they believe in the me. What is a me?
Yeah, well, the me is a belief of a belief of a belief, right? It's basically just one illusion that thinks it has layers and layers, time and how do I get there? Again, it's just a story book.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No.
It's always fading and reconstructing, and even though you think you know yourself,
no one really knows. Yeah,
you never know yourself. You never know anyone.
No.
It's full of holes,
Yeah.
Des trous. So it's like a fromage gruyère, a cheese with holes.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. So it's very, very
now
funny.
I'm hungry.
And before I heard this message, I never heard the fact that this was a possibility, and it was so stunning. And
isn't it obvious?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. That's so funny. That's so funny that without look. Well, who would look there? But and I was thinking about the kids, that ask all the time question, what about this? What about that to their parents? And their parents just make up stories because they don't know. They don't have the answers to the little person that's trying to understand what's going on. So it's so funny.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Ghislaine.
There's a question here from Steve. Steve goes, hello, Emerson. So this meeting is just denying everything. Actually, no, it's seeing. It's not really denying. It's seeing that everything is nothing. It's not really a denial. Because no one's denying. I have to go. I forgot YouTube. Sorry, YouTube people. There's a question here from YouTube. Just a moment here. Not everyone who claims to be awake is fully awake. And that's true because there's no one that has awakened. No one is awakened. Question here. Can you please talk about the the car analogy again for no free will? Yeah, so I've told this story over and over again, and I'll say it again. So people seem to. Oh, sorry, Vic had a question. Sorry, Vic, please go ahead.
Yeah, Emerson, but I forgot the question. But I have something to say about what you are talking about. In the past, in the story, I was experiencing. I was always telling myself, or I have an understanding of the same thing, but I was telling myself that this is about God, and God, he or she or it experiencing itself. So it's not about the characters. It's about the God or the higher power or the consciousness. I don't know,
Yeah, that seems separate.
It's
right?
about it. It's about it. It's not about the characters.
Okay.
So
what's being expressed here is not separate. There's no higher. There's no lower. This is just there's nothing, right?
I know.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vic.
Yeah, but I'm not telling that there is a higher or God or something.
Okay.
I was just referring to something is experiencing itself through characters, but it's not about the characters. So I knew that it's not about us characters. We are dying or alive or crying or feeling happy, or it's not about that. It's about it experiencing itself. What it I don't know, but
there you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
There's nothing experiencing nothing.
So
so we can also say that dreaming itself, lifing itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We can say that. Yeah. It's just a suggestion, though. There's no certainty in anything at all. Lifing
so
itself.
How can we live life? Yeah, I don't know. I have a weird feeling. I don't know.
There's no one living life, so life is just living by itself.
So what I am doing now?
I don't know. What are you doing?
It seems like I'm living in a building, living in an apartment. I'm holding a phone and talking to Emerson. You know,
this is just really emptiness, speaking to emptiness. This is nothing conversing with nothing. Emptiness is appearing as Vic in an apartment. Emptiness is appearing as Emerson speaking. But there's no separation. There's never been any separation. It's just an appearance. So emptiness is making an appearance of everything that seems to be seen by an individual. But there's really no individual because this is one story, one dream, one illusion, whatever you might want to call it. It's one great mystery.
Oh, we are so special. We are a mystery.
There's no we. There's no we.
I know. I'm just making fun of the situation.
It's just unconditional love.
No. I have a.
Okay.
I don't like this word about what we are talking about, the unconditional love, perfection, those fancy words. I don't accept it. It's not it.
It's all gibberish anyway. It's gibberish. Okay, I'll stop it.
No, it's not about you. I'm just saying it's not. I don't know.
I agree. Saying it's just words. It's just words.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. Unconditional love. What love? What love?
I actually
define love.
For quite a while, actually, I did not speak about it, but people keep on asking it, so might as well speak about it.
Because I see a lot of videos
one knows
talking
about
this unconditional love. This is perfection itself.
Yeah.
This what perfection? I'm sorry. I'm just.
No worries.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah. Okay. Thank
All right,
you.
Vic.
Yeah. Okay.
God's plan.
So last night I realized I really know nothing and I never have. So it's almost like any efforts to compare to anyone else is kind of silly. Also the idea of I know more than the next person or I'm better for knowing more is also silly.
But there's no other people as well, right?
What's
so
that?
Even to think that there's other people, there's no others as well.
Right,
so
right.
No you, there's no others.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like Jelaine said a minute ago too, everything is just so coming and going and fleeting.
Yeah.
As soon as I think I know something, it's gone.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. It's just what's happening, right? So what's happening is also unhappening. What's real is also unreal simultaneously. There's no separation. So this is really stillness appearing as movement. A nodding of the head. It's all emptiness. Everything is emptiness. So what seems to be, what people, what me seem to be looking for is its own emptiness. Its absence. Its demise. It's the loss of problems. It's actually looking at everything already because this is emptiness. So it's looking.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes it's almost like. Sometimes it's almost like I'm chasing my own death, like not in a physical sense, but like I want the extermination of my own self.
Well, you're looking at it. You're looking at death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Appreciate it.
Right. Okay. Question here. Um, question from Rob. I don't know if I've seen the disc that's not, it's not, or is there to be seen, but life is still just as shit and difficult as before. Know what I mean? Do you want to elaborate on that, Rob? Do you want to converse about that? Or I'll just
Hi.
answer. Oh, hey, Rob.
Hi, Emerson. Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I've got a mouthful of food, but
No worries.
I'll put my food
I'll
to
drink
one
water
side.
again.
Okay. Yeah. Well, life is still just as difficult. Life is still problems, other people, money, politics at work, bullshit.
Yeah.
People you don't like, people that don't like you.
Yeah.
People you like,
yeah.
people that like you.
Yeah.
Still bullshit.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Still that.
It is, but it's not happening to anyone.
No, but that doesn't make it easier.
It's
Does
not.
it?
No. There's no one for this all to happen to. So everything that you've said, I'm going to repeat this, Rob. There's all that there is this. There's nothing outside of this. So everything that you've told me is just a story of something that did not exist. So you're making real the unreal. And there it goes again.
You mean I'm making it unreal now? Did it not happen?
No.
It apparently happened.
It apparently happened. It's the real, it's the unreal appearing as something that real happened. But since there's no time, did anything really happen in the past? No.
Well,
did it happen to anyone? No. This is also not happening.
This isn't either. Right.
No. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. I don't know if I have got you.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's always this, isn't it? But there's always me there.
No.
That's apparent. There always seems to be some bullshit going on.
When there's the bullshit only happen if there's a bullshitter. When the bullshitter is seen as something that's not really there, then there's no bullshit.
No, but he's automatic, isn't he?
Yeah, this is just all automatically happening. There's no one behind here, and there's no one behind there. So
but the bullshit,
the bullshit seems to come from something that is derived from something that apparently happened in the past that did not exist, or happened something to someone that is not quite there. So really, what seems to be happening is just a grasping of a story. So a story is being presented over and over again to make it feel shitty or not shitty.
Yeah, that's true. And that's automatic, isn't it?
Yeah, there's no one choosing it. So if
there's no one doing that.
There's no one doing that. If it feels that way, it feels that way. There's nothing happening as well. It feels real, but it's also unreal. Yeah.
It feels real, but it's also unreal.
That's right, yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right, Rob.
Thank you, man. Take care. Cheers.
Who programmed a robot with the red glasses so stupidly? No one. It's just appearing as this. I love the questions. Mohammed.
Yeah.
How are you?
Thank you very much. I have a question. Why the sense of me there is a sense of me in this body mind, and there is this sense of me is not by you. Beispiel, some you 20 person, there is seeing that there is no me by them. Why there is?
See, you think that there's a Tony Parsons and an Emerson, or there's no one here. That's what's being expressed here. If there's no one here, there's also no one there.
Okay, why by this core in this body mind?
There's no body mind. I don't know what you're talking about. Body mind. There's no body mind. You're talking in concept. That's why. Sorry, please go ahead, Mohammed. Sorry.
Yeah, this is my problem. I feel there is me here. I feel I'm separate.
See, that's the because there is this idea that I am separate. That's the dream that feels real, that I am separate. But is a dream real?
No.
Yeah. Okay. No. So there's no difference from dreaming. So no one wakes up. There's no time, right? So there's no one that woke up this morning and no one fell asleep at night. So there's no one that went to sleep.
When I compare with dream, it's clear for me. That's like dream, but in this dream, it's not clear. I feel I am separate. I feel there's me.
That's a story. That's an idea.
How can this story end for me?
If I can tell you, I would have told you. But since there's no one here and there's no one there, then there's nothing that I can offer to no one that's there. There's a story here that can't undo the story there, because this is a whole story. In the story, there seems to be separateness, but it's just a story. It's an idea. In the dream, there are separate dreamers, but there's no 7.5 billion dreamers. There's just one dream. There's just this story. So no one can undo the story because there's no one. No one can wake up in a dream because there's no one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Mohammed. You're welcome. Question here. There's lots of question here. Anita, is it clear that life is a mystery, but not how to act in a daily life? Can you express that more, Anita, if you like? If you can unmute yourself, we can chat. Hi, Anita.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah, I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's clear that life is a mystery, but it looks like, or I still have the feeling or the thought that I have to act.
Because that's also the mystery. There's this mystery that this unreal feels real with feelings. There's no separation, right? So there's this feeling that appears that this is real, that when I hold my phone, I can hold it. There's this feeling. But like in a dream at night, everything seems real, doesn't it? Everything feels real. But the moment it's seen, or the moment there's awakeness, everything that you thought is real is seen as unreal. Oh, this is emptiness appearing as feelings. This is nothing appearing as thoughts. This is nothing. It's really nothing.
Yeah, I have already. Yeah. Yeah, but I've put myself in a difficult position in my work, so that's what apparently was happening.
That's what's apparently happening, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll talk. We're supposed to chat, Anita. We'll chat later.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Love you. Pavel asked a question. It's a long question. How it goes in the mind of obvious Emerson when he's looking for right formulation or comes to a crossroad, or is he choosing left or right and decides one direction. So there's obvious looking for without anybody who's looking for. The choice of direction being done without anybody does it. The decision is made without anybody making it. Yeah. That's what's being suggested here, that there's no one doing this. There's no one behind this. There's no one behind these eyes. There's no one behind those eyes. There's no one that has a choice or a free will. I'll go back to that analogy of free will that someone was asking about earlier. There's this driver, that's driving kind of like really a bumpy road and complaining about the road and complaining about, a horrible driver he is, and he keeps on hitting so many bumps and all this kind of stuff, and he thinks it's horrible, so there's shame and guilt about it. And then there's a passenger by the side, right beside, and then taps him on the shoulder and says, "Hey man, did you know that this is a self-driving Tesla car that no one's driving? This is running by itself." So all this time, this character thinks that he's been driving this car, when actually there's no one driving. So there's no one driving, and there's no car really. There is no Emerson in nighttime dream telling us this is a dream. So this dream when we awake is different to night dream. There's actually no nighttime dream. There's no daytime dream. There's no Emerson telling you any of this. What's just being illuminated here, this is an unhappening and a happening, simultaneously happening at the same time. So what seems to be happening here is there's like 83 people here, boxes appearing, apparent listening happening, apparent different screens, different houses, different location, different, separate individuals apparently having separate lives. But what's being expressed here is all of that is an illusion. There's no separation here. This is completeness, appearing as separation. So there's this real sense that there's separate, that there's separate individuals and different houses and different squares, but really nothing is happening. Like in a nighttime dream, when you're dreaming at night, everything seems to be happening. You can be having this really crazy dream, really wild dream, and the moment that you open your eyes, or when there's an awakeness that happens, everything that happened previously disappears completely, meaning that nothing is happening. There is a question here from YouTube. If no one is here, why have it live on YouTube? There's actually no YouTube. There's actually no one here. This is just what's appearing as something that's happening live on YouTube, seemingly appearing as something, but really nothing is happening. And there's this feels real, this sense that there's something really happening, kind of like in a dream. You sense that something is really, really going on, and you're really, really convinced. But the moment that it's seen that it's a dream, everything that you thought, including a YouTube live happening, is seen as an illusion, as a dream. Emerson, I'm feeling disoriented and confused again. This happens in your meeting. Afterwards, I feel really great. But how can I make this feeling great permanent? So what you're looking for is an idea, it's a fantasy of what blissfulness is, or that's just an idea as well. What's being expressed here, that this is already home, that there's nothing missing, that it's unconditional freedom. So anything and everything that arises, since there's no one choosing, is allowed. No one's allowing it, but everything rises, including blissfulness, pain. It's all unconditionally allowed because there's no one allowing it. So everything seems to appear, but when there's no one, it's just an arising. It comes and goes. It appears and disappears simultaneously. There's no time. um, there's a question here from YouTube. Um, Cinematic life. The me can fall away upon hearing this message if the message was heard in language one does not understand. Would the message not be heard? The me can't really hear this message. It tries to understand it, it tries to know it. What's being pointed out, though, is that the me that's trying to understand it is the story, is the dream, is the illusion. Once it's seen, that the me that's trying to figure out, trying to understand, is trying to have all of these questions, then it's a seeing that nothing really happens. Elio goes, so is this for losers, not for gainers? No one really loses and no one really gains. But this communication actually is not an attainment. It's actually a loss. It's not an attainment of knowledge. There's nothing to know here. There's nothing to figure out. There's nothing that you can grasp because there's no one. This is just a story again, but this is the unraveling. This is the unfolding. This is the spiraling down of beliefs. Once the believer is seen, I've used this analogy before. So there's this believer that's kind of like, that has a house of cards of beliefs. So it's stacked on each other. It believes that this is really happening, that there is time and space, that there is a free will, that there is something, there's enlightenment, there's awakened beings, there is others. So all of these cards are stacked. But the one that's holding the card, if you pull one of this house of cards, which is the believer, everything that it holds tumbles down. It completely drops. No one drops because the belief that I am here or I'm not here is the believer. Question. Learn how to sing in tune. Would you say that me is a collection of preferences and opinions believed and owned by a perceived person, but really there's just a living organism? What's being expressed here is that there's no me. Seemingly kind of like, it appears like a collection of, preferences and opinions. It appears like it's a belief and everything, but what's being expressed here, this is appearing and disappearing simultaneously. There's no reference in the past. So it's the visible and the invisible appearing simultaneously. The me is not really there, but it appears and disappears when you're jogging, when you're doing art, when you're singing. Seemingly there's no me. But there's this belief that the me is completely real. So it believes it completely. There's no choice in doing that. And it creates this story that there is a history. So the me is just this appearance, which is also not an appearance, simultaneously happening. It's really simple. It's really simple. Since there's no one here, no one has any history. No one has any history of perspectives, opinions, and all that kind of stuff. It arises all simultaneously. So it seems like there's opinions and characteristics and all that kind of stuff like that, but it's instantly appearing and also disappearing at the same time. So it doesn't really have any solidity. It doesn't have any kind of continuum. It's just an appearance. What seemingly is permanent, although this is just an idea, is the peacefulness, the stillness. That seems that all of these ideas of a me or a story seems to arise, but it doesn't really arise from that. It's simultaneously appearing as that. So there's no delay in appearance and a happening. It's simultaneously appearing. That's why the me can't hear this or the me can't see this. Because it's pointing out to its own demise. It's pointing out to its own absence. It's pointing out that it's dead, that it doesn't exist. It doesn't want to hear this because it longs for its own death, but it's afraid of its own absence. it seeks peace that doesn't have any boundless peace or unwavering peace. But when it looks for it, that peace, it means that it's not there. William and in God's plan.
Okay, so Emerson, when you were talking before about the me's the believer, and when that goes, all the beliefs fall like a house of cards.
Yeah.
What was kind of coming up for me is it's impossible that the sense of self could collapse and there's no one there and all that stuff. But in a way, what I was thinking was all the me knows is itself. So what it experiences as reality is all constantly being self-referenced to itself, isn't it?
No, not really. That's just another idea. You're trying to make something really simple, really complex. And you have no choice in doing that. You're trying to understand something that is just this. All of there is this. This is really simple. This is just an appearance. It's like a dream. Yeah. It's not really happening. This is a dream.
Okay.
So when people say that nothing is happening, does anything happen in a dream?
No.
No. Okay.
But in a
Nothing is
dream,
happening. You're trying to, again, the word, these are just words. I'm just trying to point to the mystery. There's the mystery.
well, I was just going to say, in a nighttime dream, there's no sense of experiencing it as real, even at the time.
There's no nighttime dream, really. I'm just making an example.
Yeah.
Because there's no one that goes to sleep and no one that wakes. This is a continuous dream, so there's no night and there's no day.
Okay, thanks.
Should I keep on going? Yeah, why not? Let's keep on going. Yep. More questions? Maybe we'll go for like 2 hours, an hour and a half. Hey, God's plan.
Hey, William, I feel your pain, man. I think what you really want is just to be able to let it all go and just to have that freedom, right?
There's no one really letting go, right? It's always freedom. So the idea of letting go is making the unreal real, that the me has to fall away to feel this freedom. But what's being expressed here, that there is no me. This is already unconditional freedom. The me has this personalized idea of what freedom is. When you personalize freedom, when you think about freedom, it becomes bottled. It becomes an idea. It becomes constricted. It becomes limited. It becomes conditional. So what's being expressed here is that this wholeness is already complete. This wholeness is unconditional freedom. And there's no one here.
Right.
Yeah, because when there's a me that can let go and release and all that kind of stuff like that, it's making the dream real, that this is really happening. What's being expressed here, that this is already unconditional freedom and nothing is happening.
Well, it's a coping mechanism.
That's just another idea.
Yeah. But I've been having lately where it's like the me, so to speak, collapses, so to speak, and it's like I feel this like almost void emptiness, and the me immediately rushes back in, and it's like, nope, you have to stay. You can't be gone, and you can't disappear.
It's afraid of its own absence, right? What it really wishes for, what it longs for, is liberation. But liberation also means that it's not there.
You heard that, William?
What it longs for is ultimate freedom or unlimited freedom. But it can't be freedom if it's limited by an individual, because that idea of freedom is limited the moment that someone tries to attain it, because it's already available, but it's not available for anyone. It's already this. This
So
is already
trying to
unlimited
obtain
freedom.
it implies it's not there already.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You make
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Eric, go ahead, please.
Hi, Emerson.
Hi, Eric. How you doing? Nice to see you.
Doing well. Yeah, likewise. Not really a question, just here there's an affinity for the phrase chop wood, carry water, but There's no wood, there's no water, and there's no me
There's no one
already.
chopping wood, or there's no one carrying water as well.
Right. But I seem to enjoy that because it gives the sense that really what's happening is already it, and there's no change possible or even necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
I can't say
samesies.
that there's what's that?
Samesies.
Samesies, yeah, exactly. And I can't say that there's like freedom in it because there's like no one here to possess the freedom or not. But I can say that there is less questioning and less angst than there used to be. And that's apparently just what's happening. But it seems to be accompanied with this acceptance that there is really nothing to do.
Yes. Yeah. Who's doing anything, right? So there's really nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. So if there are apparent obstacles in one's life, they're perceived as obstacles, but there's not actually anything there or anyone to be obstructed.
No, there's really no obstacles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that that's beautiful. It's like it's like you're opening a gift, and when you open it, the gift is empty, and then the gift wasn't really there, and you weren't really there. The whole thing was just a dream. But there is this kind of sense of, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a loss, but it feels almost like a gain and a loss at the same time, but neither one.
Yeah. It's kind of like it's kind of like having this dream, and then you have everything, and then you lost it, and then there's this awakeness, and then everything that you lost and everything that you gained are really nothing. So it's a relief.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like I can.
Yeah, it's just emptiness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I can put down all my toys and stop worrying. But anyway. Yeah, it's lovely to talk to you again, Emerson. Thank you for being here.
To talk to you too, Eric.
Bye.
Bye. Bertrand.
Hi. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
I love your background.
Yeah. I think I was in Theo's meeting. I didn't remove it. But I mean, yeah, that's sort of what it's like listening to this message. But yeah, I think it was God's plan, something about looking for freedom implies that it's not there.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like I have the choice.
Yeah, there's no choice.
To stop looking for it.
Yeah, so even the choice not to stop looking for it is also freedom. That's being implied here. Looking for freedom and not looking for freedom is also freedom, because there's no one there.
No.
That's how unconditional it is.
No.
No. You're like that picture now.
Yeah. No. Oh, I was also wondering if some speakers speak of resonance.
Yeah.
Does it mean anything? It doesn't.
Resonance, basically, this is just the gas, right? Resonance is just this intuitive feeling, intuitiveness that there is emptiness. It's resonating to emptiness. These words are coming out.
But it doesn't.
It's resonating to itself. Emptiness is resonating to itself, basically. Because this doesn't really, this can't really be understood. So this is not, God's plan said goes beyond logic. This is not logical. This is not understandable. It's a resonance of emptiness, basically looking at emptiness, saying that this is all empty.
Every time I talk to some some speaker. It's like a balloon. It's like that, but then when it stops, it goes like.
That's the openness. This is just a story as well. It's seemingly an openness and a contraction. So openness and contraction are seemingly appearing at the same time. But you believe in the contraction. The contraction is belief. The contraction is attaining. The contraction is understanding. So what's being suggested here, there's nothing to understand. No, there's no belief happening because there's no believer. It's just what's happening. It's just openness. It's just freedom. Unconditionally.
I don't know. I have no clue. It's really.
It's actually really simple, and I know I keep on saying this, but this is always freedom, so it doesn't need to be looked for. This is already liberation because there's no one that was ever in bondage. This is already free because it already is free without the idea of what free is. So freedom, the moment that you think about it, is not freedom anymore. It's an idea of what freedom is. What's being expressed here is this freedom. I don't even want to call it freedom, but this wordless openness of something that is what's resonating with.
Yeah. It's also kind of odd because when I try to say what this is, like, okay, the word this, and then I have to keep shortening it till there's no word, and I can't say anything about it.
Yeah, this is wordless, really, right? This is wordless, kind of like what Theo did in the beginning of the meeting was perfect because there's really nothing to say.
Yeah, I was like, this is my favorite meeting. No offense to your meeting, though.
Oh no, me too. I like that too.
Yeah. There was also one thing you said, the belief, the sense of being here is the same as the belief that, or it's the same as the belief, basically.
I don't know if I said that, but I can't remember what I said.
Oh, well, it's fine.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, okay.
So the believer and the belief are the same. So meaning that every single thing that you believe is unreal, that you think is real. Because the believer is unreal. So everything that comes up with, everything that appears is a belief, thinking that it's really a real belief. It's a belief in something true. But the one that's believing that something true is untrue. So the untrue is making things true by believing in it.
Okay.
And it goes circular because if it believes in it, then it thinks that it's true.
So it can't see through itself then?
No, it's blind to itself, yeah.
I don't know. It's fine. Yeah, it's that
the story
balloon
again.
feeling.
The story is trying to figure out the story. The story is trying to figure out the story by telling more stories about it. The story is trying to express that this is a story by exposing that it's just a story, that it's not real. That's what seems to be happening here. I'm just simplifying it. So your story is trying to make this story understood so that you can get out of the story. What's being expressed here is that this story is just expressing that this is a story, illuminating it that this is just a story, it did not happen. So nothing needs to happen because what you want to happen is just a story.
Okay. So, okay. Yeah, I have nothing to say to that. So. All right. Thanks.
All right. Thanks for nothing, Emerson.
Yeah. Or not.
Or not.
Thanks.
Hi, Vic.
Hey, Emerson. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. What I want to say now, that I don't care about if I am not. I don't care. I really, it's not a shock for me to be not. I don't want to be somebody or anybody or as a body. I don't want. What I care about, that why I am aware of this. I don't care. I don't care that this is a story and this is nothing happening, and I don't care. What I care about, why I am aware.
You're not aware. There's no you that's aware.
So why I am discussing this with you now?
I don't know.
There is no me. There is no you. There is no discussion.
It's just an appearance. It's just an appearance happening.
Why it's appearing? Because it's for
I don't
me.
know.
For me,
it's a mystery.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Vic. Hey, Joey. Joey.
Hey, what's going on?
Good.
Why requires time? Why requires time? It requires it requires a reason for something.
That's right. Yeah, a story requires another story to make it a real story, but there's no real story.
There's no answer to why in any way ever. Like, we don't even know why the sky is blue. We know how it appears that the sky is blue. We know how it happens to be that the sky is blue, light conditions and all that stuff, but we don't. There's no reason for it.
No reason at all.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Joey. Question here. Emerson, I saw your video. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. Emerson, I saw your video about an awakening. Oh, in a one-on-one meeting. What happened? Nothing happened. Those videos are really nothing. What's being expressed here, there's nothing happened. Nothing happened. So those videos that seemingly are appearing is just an appearance of an apparent story being exposed that it's a story. That's why there's laughter. So if you've seen those videos, it's just basically the recognition of the story that it's a story, that is really nothing happening. It's just seeing the emptiness. But there's no one that recognized anything. No one that got liberated. No one fell away. It's just a story. Question here. There's a whole bunch of questions here from YouTube. Sorry, YouTube guys. There's a lot of people in the thing there. Emerson, can you talk about how every appearance is coming from or is appearing from nothing? This is the mystery, actually. Appearances are not coming from anywhere. Saying that it's appearing from nothing is seeming like it's a source. Nothing is just a word basically saying that it's sourceless. This is just simultaneously appearing. So it's not coming from something. It's appearing from nothing. But don't get stuck on that thing as being a source. It's not a source. It's just a word trying to describe that it doesn't have any continuation or doesn't have any history, no past or present, no future. Yep. Does there still sometimes appear a me there, Emerson, only is clear or just an appearance? The me is just a story, right? So you see the me as a story. It's kind of like you see a Marvel, like Spider-Man or Batman or Medusa or Mickey Mouse, right? It's just seen as that. It's just an appearance. Are you a living organism from a learn how to sing in tune? There's this confusion, right? When I say that there's nothing appearing here, it's appearing as a real living. But that's an appearance as well. So that's an idea as well. So this is nothing, being everything simultaneously. So nothing appearing as this apparent body, but like in a dream at night, everything that you dream, a living organism, the moon, the stars, the sky, the universe, others, the moment it's seen clearly, the moment there's awakeness, then it's revealed for no one that all the ideas, everything that you have ever thought about, every single thing is not real. It's appearing as real, but it's also not real simultaneously. So this is not coming into a conclusion that this is a living organism or not a living organism. It's a mystery. So it's the real appearing as the unreal appearing as real. It could be an organism, it could be whatever, but it cancels each other out because it's a dream, it's an illusion. So landing at a position like it is this or it is that is is creating a reality of something that is not real or unreal. There's a question here. I'll get to you, William. There's a lot of questions here. If there are reason that is the benefit of the story given it appears to be so prolific. Thank you. Is there something? Okay, I'll get to you, William, and I'll ask your question there, Francesca. Go ahead, William.
It might be futile asking this, but
yeah,
what was the change from feeling like a real person in a real world with a real life to the end of that experience?
There was no real person. Again, all of that seeming, all of these stories that you keep on digging up is like a dream that has been seen that is unreal, right? It's kind of like, it's like, you know, when you're dreaming at night, you dreamt that you were a billionaire and you wake up and you're still broke. It's just seen that none of that happened. So any questions about the history of apparent Emerson did not happen because it's just seen as the unreal appearing as real, like a dream, like an illusion. So it did not really happen, but it appears to have happened. So it's a mystery. So I can't really land on that position of something because it's making the unreal real again. It's making the story into a true story, making the fiction into true story.
No, that was a great answer, but I think what gets me when I'm in these meetings sometimes, like especially today and with other speakers, is I'm thinking at some point they're going to slip up. At some point, they're going to capitulate to what we experience.
There's no. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
But it never happens. It's always nothing responding. It's just always nothing responding, and I'm
because
thinking,
it's never talking to anyone. It's not addressing anyone here. Again, he keeps on repeating that nothing is happening, that there's no one there. It's just an illumination of what's really obvious and what's really clear. Although there's no one here that knows anything, this is what's coming out, apparently.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Joey.
I mean, it's impossible to slip up because there's no truth. There's no rule.
No.
You could say one thing today and say a completely different thing tomorrow, and it doesn't fucking matter.
No.
There is no solid ground.
No. This is not about any location or landing at anything or having any position. Yeah. This is completely positionless because it's not addressing anyone. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You can only slip up if you lay out a set of circumstances or a set of rules or a set of laws and stuff like that,
Yeah, this again, everything that I've said here is actually just another story. But what it's trying to say is that this is a story. This is just a storyteller trying to illuminate that everything is a story. That's basically it. There's nothing really complicated about that.
Well, the story is the interpretation of what's happening.
Yeah, there's a story that this feels real. This is the story that this dream or this illusion, has tactile. You can hold things, you can drink, you can do whatever. Just like a dream at night. When you're dreaming at night, when it feels absolutely real, you have no idea. And then the moment that you see it, every moment that you see it, that everything is just happening and then happening, meaning like a dream. Kind of like when you've dreamt of whatever in the dream, and the moment that it's seen, they're like, oh wow, this is just, nothing is happening. I've never been here. There's never been anyone here, because it's like a dream. Everything that happened also unhappened simultaneously. The moment that you see it, that no you, but the moment that it's seen, that everything that seemed to have happened did not really happen. But it feels real because there's this appearance that I'm moving through time and space. That's the dream that I'm separate, the dream that I am, doing something, that I will get to somewhere. But like in a dream at night, nothing has ever happened. The moment that you see that you've been dreaming, kind of like, that moment that you wake up, you open up your eyes, and then the me tries to interpret what happened in the dream. There's no stops. It's all continuous. So this is no different from a nighttime dream. This is also dreaming, but no one is dreaming. I'm just using words. This doesn't really mean anything. I'm just trying to express what can't be expressed in words, the unreal appearing as real simultaneously. It's just an appearance.
Well, because speaking or language is already a story. Labeling something is a story. If the color green is not green.
No. Yeah. Again, I always say this. I'm just talking in Dreamlish, right? This is just gibberish. It's just trying to kind of like, I might as well just say, this is it, this is, and wordless and everything, because what's being expressed here cannot really be fully expressed in words, because it's everything and nothing appearing simultaneously. What's the word for that? Nothing. That's why I use dream or illusion or whatever, because it's trying to point out to
part of the whole. We can't describe the whole.
There's no we though. It's just wholeness. So the moment that we try to describe it, the moment that we try to understand it, it's coming into an idea of what wholeness is. No one can possibly know what wholeness is because it's just another idea. Yeah. All right, Zoe. Question here. But you said you have burned all your books. Did it happen or did not? Nothing really happened, but in the story of Emerson, there was an Emerson that was this seeker. It's like a dream, right? A story. It's a fiction. Nothing really happened. There was a seeker that was really obsessed with learning and not knowing, and would have this really big library of books. So when this was seen, it was actually a throwing away of books, and just basically a purging of all of those, because those are just ideas. It's kind of like in a dream. Everything that you've learned in a dream did not really happen. Bertrand.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's actually a difference between, well, not really as well. Like there seems to be two things going on.
There's no two things. See, that's the illusion, right? There's two things. There's no two things. That's why I'm saying simultaneously, spontaneously, automatically together. No separation. There's no two things.
Oh, okay. And then another question. Is there a difference between a Zoom meeting and a physical meeting?
No, there's no meeting that happens at all. In this story,
yeah.
I know what you said. I know you were asking. Now, in this story, there seems to be, when I do live meetings, I do see, a whole bunch of people, either wincing, or.
I already do that.
Like that.
I already do that through Zoom meetings.
But I only see like 5 screens. But that's just a story, right? There's no 5 screens. There's no live meetings. But in live meetings, there's this. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. It's totally beyond understanding.
Yeah, because it's going to understand it. even understanding it is an illusion. So the moment you understand it, it's an illusion that you're trying to understand, but you can't undo the illusion, because the illusion is just trying to understand the illusion. It will never figure out the illusion. It's because it's an illusion. I'm just trying to make it simple here.
Because it's not there already.
It's not even a riddle at all. It's just being delivered plainly. This is just being expressed as it is.
You were saying it's not there already, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess, because I can't seem to find it.
No.
Yeah.
What seems to be sought for, what you're looking for, is everything. So you can't find it because it's appearing in everything. It's appearing in every single thought. It's appearing in every single doubt, every single feeling, every single whatever. It's appearing in illusions. It's appearing as everything. It's nothing, is everything. Not being, really. This is empty fullness. Full stop. That's it. You know what I'm saying? This is it. And isn't.
Just wow.
Wow.
Just wow.
It's just wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. That concludes it. Thank you so much for everyone on YouTube. I'm sorry that I did not put the link, but there's sorry that it's already almost full capacity here at the on the Zoom thing, and then we got trolled so much the other day, so I'm trying to avoid, but I will find a remedy soon. There's no conclusion, Dario. Dario goes to Mr. There's no conclusion. All I can really say is that everything is nothing. Nothing is everything. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Emerson. You're so amazing. Love you.
Oh,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Everybody.
Thank you, Emerson.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Emerson.
much.
Bye.